As far as if they needed to hear something and I thought I had some insight on it, I would offer, because we still living.
Yeah.
We just in jail. We just live life amongst each other. We don't live with them. Didn't mean that we lost our ability to think or to deduce. We all know what life is. Don't know life they live. We know life we live.
Good morning, everybody. We are 100 Years Enterprise, shooting season 6, episode 7, Consequences of the Street Life. And again, my name is Fahim.
I'm Patrick.
And Patrick, man, today, on this Sunday of September 14, 2025, my brother, I know you reached back and reached back and reached back and reached back. And you use that reach, man, to grab somebody, man. So, yeah. How far did you reach?
I didn't have to reach too far, but this guy here that we getting ready to talk about, man, is somebody that has profound character to me.
Absolutely.
And, we met behind bars. He know me and my brother. We totally opposites. Me and my brother totally opposites. But yeah, man. I think I met you through my brother, right?
Yeah, I met you.
And yeah, man, I learned some valuable lessons about blind loyalty, blind trust, and he helped me through that process, man. And I commend him for that. And I just, man, it's a blessing, man. I'm gonna welcome you on board.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, man, what's going on, Bruce? Man, Bruce here, man, and he here on 100 Years Enterprise podcast. He ain't been out that long, but he been effective. You know what I mean? Groundbreaking, earth shaking. And, he here, man. That's what we about, man. Try to tap in to see what he about and where he going. Where he been, where he at, and where he going.
Man, Bruce, welcome to the show, my brother.
I appreciate you, brothers,
Yes,
man. Y'all,
yes,
the feelings are mutual when it
Most
comes to
definitely.
the respect for both of you fellas.
Yeah.
Man. I want y'all to know that, man. I love y'all. Y'all kept it solid with me all through these years, and to come home and y'all welcome me the way y'all do and make sure I'm all right,
Absolutely.
And we talk every day,
Yes, we do.
For a few minutes, at least every morning, we all holler,
Yeah.
and I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been my inspiration. I watched you guys, and I'm following you guys, man. I watch y'all, and I'm really, really looking forward to working with y'all when the time comes right.
And feelings is mutual, much respect. Much respect is all love, and it's genuine. It was always felt. When we go back, I remember I met you in 2025. I don't know. Excuse me.
Yeah.
2005. I don't know if you remember. I was on Fish Row in Folsom, and you and a couple of brothers came down there and looked over the tier. For we was on lockdown. I was on Fish Row. Y'all came over to third tier. Introduce yourselves.
Well, before you do that, can you kindly explain? Because you got to articulate what's Fish Row.
Fish Row?
Yeah, you got to give them that. That's not,
Okay, yeah. So Fish Row is when you enter any prison in California, well, maybe the United States, depending on what you want to call it. But that's your introduction into that prison. In that prison, you coming through, or that particular unit of the prison. Only thing you're gonna have is a sack of lunch, a toothbrush, and a jumpsuit. And you're gonna be looking different from everybody else. So basically, you the fresh person, you the new person, you the one that everybody gonna come down there and ask you to check in who you are. You got a piece of paperwork, whatever. They wanna know who you are. And so in there is gonna determine if you're either gonna stay on the line or go somewhere else or not stay on the line. It's gonna determine. Because you gonna come to that particular unit, and your introduction gonna be where you from, who you are, and whatever you say then is gonna follow you, to the line, and that's what it does. But yeah, And again, I want to just say thank you when you all came down there. Well, looked over the tier and introduced yourselves. I think it was a ride had just happened between the blacks and the whites.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Right, it just happened.
a ride that just happened. It was on lockdown. Yeah. So and again, man, Bruce. So tell the people who you are, man. Where you come from?
Man, my name is Bruce Johnson. I'm from a small town called Ben Harbor, Michigan, outside Detroit. Mostly, I've been raised in East Oakland.
Okay.
You know, and it's not when I say raised. You know, my mama moved me to Sunnyvale, San Jose, Cupertino.
Right.
You know, but being I'm from city, I had to stay in the town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my I was addicted to East Oakland. You know, so that's why I say born and raised, because that's where I got my game from. That's where I got my name from. That's where I got that time from.
Why was East Oakland so addictive? How do you become addicted to that culture, that lifestyle?
The fast life, when you grow up and you see dudes with nice cars sitting on Chromes. Back then it was Vogues and Chromes, Trues and Vogues.
Trues and Vogues, I remember that.
Yeah, so then, you see dudes with fat gold chains. So you got to also remember this is the era of the 80s rap when big fat gold chains was happening.
Yeah.
This is 84, 85. Then when crack first hits, so I saw it. It was...
Don't I remember? I was 14, 13, 14.
Yeah. And then we didn't have social media then. The streets was our social media. The people on the corners was our social media.
Yeah.
The strip was our social media. We saw our heroes, riding around those Cougars and those Mustangs up and down East 14th and MacArthur, so it appealed to me, and it seemed easy. It seemed like it was right because it was all around you. You didn't know anything different.
Man, I can just name off about 20 names you're talking about right now over there. But I'm going to say this, right? It's inspiring because, like you said, it's a trip how, Oakland, California, Richmond, California, Berkeley, California, you know what I mean? How we can see images of people that's in nice cars and all that, and it made us feel good.
Yes.
I remember I used to see cats, man, that I admired pulling up in Benzes, pulling up in Cougars and all that when I was a young, adolescent, 14. And young, I'm going to say it, a young turnout, because I turned myself out because I wanted in.
We all turned ourselves out.
Right?
I wanted in.
And looking at someone else, man, and it made me feel good without him even saying nothing to me. Yeah. Just seeing him drive in the Cougar one night, in the Mustang, right? How that made me feel. I trip on that to this day. Like,
yeah, because
go ahead.
Because you have to juxtapose the positions from today, from yesterday. Today, you look at things. Look where we all come from.
Yeah.
We're not little kids no more. We're not looking at things. The things we admire now are breathing.
Do you think some of those, real quick, because you just said some, what Patrick was saying, that we don't look at things different from then, but you think, are we still impacted from our 16-year-old selves to now?
You have no choice but to. It's like it's woven into your DNA.
Yeah.
It's part of who you are. We still, because of the circumstances that we were in. I'm gonna speak on just us now. I speak I make I statements, but right now we all been through. We all ate the same concrete. You gotta remember, we still carry some of that DNA code with us.
Yeah.
Certain things we still not gonna do.
Exactly.
I ain't gotta speak on it, but there's certain things we still not gonna do. We still not gonna, and we adhere to that because it's in our foundation.
Absolutely.
And as oxymoronic as it sounds, some of that shit is silly.
It is.
Some of that shit is silly, but it's woven into us. It's who we are. It's how we get down. It's part of what made us men. It's part of what made us survive and come out the way we came out. We all came out. We were surrounded by people who don't come out the same way we came out.
I remember when Patrick said that when he would see the older guys or those who might have had a little more than he had coming up in the Cougars and the Mustangs and all that, it somewhat shaped his identity. It wasn't shaped mine, right? But he's just saying it. And I remember how it began to shape my identity, but also my self-esteem. Because one time I saw a guy, he was in a Benz. I was at the gas station. I had a Cougar at the time, a 68 Cougar. But he put up in the Benz, like, man, that's such and such, such and such. But when I'm about to walk up to the car, I could see the light and I see a silhouette, and then I get closer. he had inside that car this girl I used to talk to, right? I was trying to get with. So basically, I'm like, damn, that kind of like, I didn't let it show, right? But she in his Benz.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right? But that kind of affect me to this day. To where but then it made me shape, okay, I got to really step my game up, you know what I mean? I got to make sure now, if that ever happened to me, I got to be ready for what's next.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
And I think I had a similar story, but for me personally, it just made me more or less, I can get that too.
Yeah.
I can do that too. If he can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I know him. Most of the dudes we saw driving like that, we grew up with.
Right.
And we remember when they was picking their noses or dirty, and you know, their mama wouldn't let them outside. They were square.
Yeah.
But now they you know,
Absolutely.
they are heroes. You know, so me personally, I always took it as a personal challenge. Like I can do that too.
Yeah.
You know,
You sound like somebody I know. But anyway, you sound like somebody I know. I ain't gonna mention. He know who he is. But anyway, yeah, man. I think for me, right, my identity wasn't shaped yet. I always felt I was a hell of a guy. I'm gonna be real with you, but I know it was levels to it, and I seen those levels. So you know, and there's a particular dude, man, out of my neighborhood, man, that I used to admire him so much as a like. If I would say a mentor, right, in the criminal lifestyle, it was him. You know what I mean? And yeah, I even start dressing like him. Like the outfits he wore, I wanted to wear that because it reflected Gucci, whatever he was on, I would go get it. And then so one day he pulled me over, and I always tell this story, and it bust my bubble. He knew that's where my can goes, all that like him, right? But I was 14, right?
Impressive.
He was heavy in the game. And he was in my neighborhood, and he's always take me for rides and stuff, man. You know, hold this, hold that. You know what I mean? Man, you're gonna be cool. Just keep doing what you're doing. So I admired him. You know what I mean? And now it was like it turned into envy and competition because I start coming up. I start really taking on those tools and fashion. So you know, my image and young females start liking me. So he was kind of like, man, this dude trying to, you know what I mean? And then next thing I know, he said, let me holler at you for a minute. He said, man, you got the same thing. Basically, you trying to be me? He said, you're blowing your money. You're blowing your money because I'm up here. You down here still. Meaning that I'm getting 50, 60 keys. You getting 1 or 2, and you trying to live like you up here.
Yeah.
And that right there made a profound impact on me because I had to sit back and say, damn, I done got caught up in this dude. He just bust my bubble, right? And after that, man, I started mashing. You know what I mean? Because I didn't need his identity no more. I said, okay, I'm going to formulate mine.
Yeah.
But we get caught up in that. You know what I mean? Because that's the image you see on the corner.
That's the image on the corner. But see, and I think I did mine. Look, I was so arrogant as a young man that I didn't follow nobody. You know, my arrogance let me say I can do that. You know, my uncles and my immediate family were my teachers. So my daddy's brothers were all pimps, players, and hustlers, and dope fiends, and all these different things. So all my game came from them.
Right.
So when I hit the streets, I'm so believing in what they taught me that I was arrogant enough to think that nobody else could teach me nothing. Yeah, so when I hit the streets at 13, 14 years old, I'm Bruce Haynes.
Yeah, you got your identity.
Yeah. Nobody can't tell me shit. My uncle told me this. My uncle told me this.
And what year was that?
83, 84.
Ooh. That's when the Run DMC just came out.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, Run DMC. I had my Adidas on, my fat laces, and I was a little bitty dude, but I was a little. I remember I started high school. I think I told you this before. One of y'all in the pen. I started high school 99 pounds, 4'11".
Yeah, you was a little bitty guy.
I was a little bitty dude.
Yeah,
but I was arrogant. I come from a large family in the projects, and we were together. And when I separated from them, I didn't separate from them.
Right.
I took that confidence they built in me. My uncles built this confidence in me like, nigga, can't nobody fuck with us.
Did you fight a lot at that age?
Yes, extremely a lot. That was truly who my identity was fighting people. Because everybody looked at this little bitty dude.
I was just about to say that.
And I remember in the pen.
Yeah, little bitty dude.
Yeah, quiet and, joking and laughing. And then you think, and I just hit you.
Yeah. Because then, man, the little guy always going to swing first, thinking the big guy finna get off.
yeah, for sure. And that's what I was. I always thought people was going to hit me.
Okay, we going somewhere. We going somewhere with this. This is good. We gonna segue into something else, but I wanna carry this on to the next phase, right? Because that's deep what you said. So in your criminal thinking, right? Would you say, oh, you need to say it. I'm just asking. Are you saying that in your household, or should I say, in your heritage, right? They taught you, or how should I say? How can I put it? They
Violence was the
instilled
key.
you or induced you
Yes.
with the tools, right, to go out there and become what?
Drug dealer, violent, brother, nephew. What they instilled in me were a lot of things. It's not just one aspect of the game that they put in me because we lived in as a family unit.
Right.
So you got to remember, I saw everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. And all of those things, played a part in who I became because it also gave me that warped sense of morality that you have in the streets. You know how some of us go out there and we say, oh, I ain't gonna sell dope to pregnant women.
Right.
Well, I get that from my uncle. You're not supposed to sell dope to pregnant women. That's just wrong.
But did you?
Of course not. I didn't. I never did.
Right.
It was one. I never even took food stamps from dope fiends. I never took baby clothes from dope fiends.
Right. Because some reason I said it because I trip now how we carried on that good moral fiber, right? Then, but now as I see, you have an older guy, good mentor, right? Instilling them same solid values into a young man now, and he adhere and just disregard it.
Well,
And do the total opposite than how when we grew up.
Well, I think, for us personally, and I don't know how y'all look at it, but me, now that I look at it, it was giving me something, but it was giving me wrong too. Because you say in one word, you say don't sell dope to a pregnant woman, but in another word, you say you can kill anybody who fuck with you.
It's contradiction.
It's a paradoxical living because here we are talking about we can't sell dope to pregnant women. We're gonna take food stamps, but a nigga fuck with you, he gotta go.
We got to go.
If he ain't from your area, he gotta go.
That's even worse because you're taking his life.
And
You're
so,
trying to become
so
God.
you take it. So you saying to yourself that this stage of the game right here is more important than this man's life. That I can't sell dope to a pregnant woman, but I sure can take your life. And that's how we grew up.
Yep.
And so to realize when we realized, so at one point in time we all realized how we were living was wrong. We met around that time. We all figured that out. You know how I know we all met at that same time? Because we all on the same page.
We're all the same.
Most definitely.
And you can't be on the page we're on if you had no introspection.
Absolutely.
If you ain't thought about how you were living your life, because it's hard to say. I know it was hard for each one of us to say, damn, I was living wrong. We grew up with those codes in us. So you telling me that my uncle, everything he told me was wrong? I got to accept, now I got to say that out loud?
You know what though? It's powerful, man.
Man.
It's powerful
Yeah.
what you're saying because as I was growing up and I entered the prison system, right? Everything I did, my foundation was wrong and corrupt, right? And once I got older and when we met, we was on that mature level trying to understand life as a man. And then man was holding ourselves accountable and taking responsibility.
Yes.
That's where we was at. And we was big on that. And so I carried that. And then when I got out, the reason I'm saying is because it's a profound message what I'm leading to. When I got out, right, I went back to my community, right, North Oakland. And it was almost being rejected. Now, my son got killed out there. See what I'm saying? So I had to say, damn, I was the same thing I was doing. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the point. When you said that, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's what I was doing that. So, I forgive. I don't know how to say that, but it's like, I can't exempt myself from the problem because I changed. The environment didn't change. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you grew up.
Right.
That don't mean that that the concrete is going to rise with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you grew up out them cracks.
Right.
And you seen that what surrounded us.
Right.
Because what it lead to? We spent 30-something, the 100-year, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Look at us. Look at us, bro. We did life sentences. in prison, and we got a second chance.
Most definitely.
And we understand what that means. And so when you go into our communities and these young cats don't listen to us or they don't understand because they ain't been where we've been. And we trying to say, don't go there, don't do this. But it's only going to be a couple that actually hear, because I didn't hear it when I was young. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? A man walked up to you and said, I know somebody in your life said to you at one point in time, because we all hear it. It's a message. First time at juvenile hall, first time you handcuffs on you.
Well, let me say something. I just had to think back. I might have spoke a little too fast. I had an uncle, bro. I still got an uncle. And I know that I was going through some things. So even though I didn't see him a lot, but he still would try to sit me down and instill a good message in me. Even though I found out later on he was living that lifestyle, but I couldn't really tell. I only saw the good side or the
side he wanted to show you.
The side he wanted to show me, right? And I might have heard things, but still in all, when I tried to go to him for a piece of advice, he gave it to me. But at the same time, I felt it wasn't enough for me to hold on to what would have may have changed my thought process to do what I did. You see what I'm saying? Because I went to him and I needed some information, as they will call tools today. And he like, nah, I ain't finna help you. I asked him to help me do wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of him, and then he walked away. And I think what's missing, what we do in our service to the youth, we'll hear something and we'll know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And where it can lead to. And we'll grab them. Instead of walk away and say, man, I hear what you're saying, but I don't too much care. And I think that kind of happened to me.
Yeah.
To where I could have that positive advice. When you say we didn't get it came to me, but I rejected it.
And when I say we didn't get it, we didn't accept it.
Yeah.
We got it. I know somebody told me.
Yeah.
Look, youngster, if it was MacArthur on MacArthur,
right?
It was him, or it was
somebody.
It was somebody in my life,
right?
And I think I'm sitting here thinking about it right now, and I think because I wasn't raised with a father, that my mother raised me.
Yep.
That any man who tried to get at me, I felt like you can't get at me.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear from you. Damn, what you talking about?
Yep.
My mama told me this. You know what I'm saying? Or it was just arrogant enough to be like, well, nigga, you out here with me. What you gonna tell me? You might be older than me. You might be out in the game, but you can't tell I'm out here with you. You can't tell me nothing. So getting past my own self was the hardest part. As far as taking this change and growing up was the arrogance, and it's not really arrogant, it's really just scary. You're scared out there,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be the first person to be tested or to be the coward of the group or nothing like that. So you make yourself, you give yourself this image.
I think too, what we learned too, and I'm hoping you agree with me on this, that I think the difference is for me, I heard the message, but I heard it from people that was already broken. And so it was hard for me to take that message from them. I didn't have an example. Or they didn't give me a different perspective, like, okay, because I was already addicted to my criminal thinking. We seeing thousands a day, right? And I'm thinking, in that time, my world, man, it ain't nothing but up from this point, right? But if I would have had somebody, I'm not saying I would have changed, but I'm saying how we approach it, we try to break up the monotony of criminal thinking by giving them something. Okay, look, here's the options.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in our case, right, we might have told us, but you telling me you're alcoholic. I don't want to be like that. You telling me don't do nothing.
Yeah.
I already come from a situation where there was no food in my house. I ain't got no school clothes. You know what I mean? Give me an option. And so I think that was my big change in saying, okay, the alternative, what they say, don't go too far to the left, don't go too far to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
So my mind was thinking, okay, I gotta survive. See what I'm saying? Until something come where it's noteworthy for me to pivot, and I'm not justified, it's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that a young man's mind, and he in that situation, especially in Oakland, Richmond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we see, right? Like how you told me they laughed at you on the bus. You had holes in your shoes. In the back of he on the back of the bus. He going to school. This ain't how long I got to do this. I'm in the third. I'm in the sixth grade. I got to do 6 more years of this. Man, I'm gonna try to find an alternative to this. You know what I'm saying? In our young, undeveloped mind.
In that, the choices that you talked about options, the options we were given that we took, on our own choices, we took bad choices. We took options. I always say this, when I started the group in Solana before I left, I said this, that we take two choices, two options, two bad options, and make them our life. Either you're going to jail or you're gonna die.
Hey,
And you come off and you accept that. You say those are the choices that I got. Them are choices I accept. That's how I'm gonna live my life. Either I'm gonna go to jail or I'm gonna die. So we take that and we live by that.
what's going on? Options.
An inmate at a Contra Costa County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up.
Oh, we got a call coming in from jail.
Yeah, I gotta take this call for a second.
This call is from a correctional.
We got a call coming in from jail.
Subject to monitoring and recording.
I guess it's important, y'all.
Thank you for using Global Telling.
What's up, bruh?
Hello?
Hey, what's happening now? I could. Man, we on the podcast right now. I couldn't come up there today. Couldn't come see you today because I was.
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah. By the way, guess who we got on the show?
Games right now.
Guess who me and Fahim got on the show?
Who?
Bruce.
I know.
All right, man. What's
All
up,
right,
man?
look. I'm gonna
For sure.
hit me back in this evening, right? I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, do your thing.
Much love, man. Keep your head up, boy. Keep your head up, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I love y'all, man. Do your thing.
Like you
All right,
too.
for sure.
All right. Okay, yeah, and there it is, man. So now, when hey, we get a call from jail, and you was talking about them options, right? The options, and the circumstance and the situations during those options, and after those options, right? Were made, the choices. One of those bad options or choices or decisions cost you some time.
Yeah, 32 years.
Tell us about, you ain't got to go too deep, but man, how was that 32 years for you? How do you have to grow and navigate through that? How did you do that? Let the people know, man. Some people, they hear it, but how you, man.
It's one of the most hardened experiences that you ever gonna have. Because at first, you're not taking responsibility for what you went there for. First, you blaming everybody else. It's the world fault you in there. Nigga told on me. Oh, the police lied. Snitch. Then you gotta come to realize that you actually did this shit. That you actually put yourself in prison. You didn't catch no case.
So you got to blame yourself.
You gotta blame yourself. Then you gotta stop being angry at yourself for doing something you know you weren't supposed to do. And then for the three of us who all went on these spiritual journeys, it's hard to come to terms with taking somebody's life and you reading the Quran every day or you reading the Bible every day.
Absolutely.
And you also going around in your head with the fact that you took a life. And when you first read the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not take a life. In the Quran, thou shalt not take a life. So,
Absolutely.
So then you say, I want to be saved. I want to be blessed. I want to go to heaven. I want all these things, but I took a life.
And then you want to ignore it.
Yeah.
Or forget it. Just brush over it.
I have never been able to do that. I know people who have.
But they tried to.
Or tried to. Me personally, it was too profound of a moment to gloss over. Because at the end of the day, that end effect affected everybody in my existence. Not only did I take a man's life, I took a father from his kids, a son from his parents, an uncle to nieces and nephews. I took myself away from my family. I put my wife in danger. I took myself from my kids. My kids were raised for 32 years without me. Oh. I took a relationship for 32 years and put it on hold. Those are decisions that I made. With the pulling of that trigger, not thinking about the rest of that, just thinking about the
ripple
pulling that
effect.
trigger. Not worried about the ripple effect. The ripple effect, the ripple effect never really affected me till an incident happened to my daughter that I really thought about me being in prison. The things that happened, the circumstances that align with being in jail.
Because God have a way of checking us.
He do. He got a way of humbling us.
Yeah,
You know.
because he makes no mistakes and he's all powerful, all knowing, and sees everything. And you're right, through that spiritual journey where we all had to take. And I would say that was a positive decision choice that we made. I would say had, because if we wouldn't have stood on that had or must, we wouldn't be here today as the men that we are now.
No, we wouldn't.
No,
Because we all stood our ground. We all stood in our spirituality, and we were never afraid to be who we were in God's eyes. Because you got to remember something, in prison, dudes laugh at us.
Absolutely.
Oh, you fake ass Muslim.
Man.
Oh, you fake ass Christian.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Are you running from something? Who you running from? And what they don't realize that I'm running to something.
Something greater than yesterday.
I ran to my salvation.
And it's, man, that's a profound example of what we go through on a daily in that 32 years, 31, right? I remember sitting in the visiting room trying to tell somebody, because I had got to a point where I thought I was, spiritually inclined, right? That I thought I could change somebody's life, which I believe I could, from behind bars by telling them conditions in their life needs to change. Like I could just tell them verbally and they're just gonna do it, right? And the person turned around, man, I'll never forget this, man. It's profound, man. She said in the visiting room, she said, you so concentrated on me changing my life. You killed people for a living. That blew my mind. And I said to myself, I didn't start crying in the visiting room. Because she said it in the matter that I'm going to change when I'm ready.
Right.
But for you to get to a point and tell me that I'm living a wrong life, I'm in here visiting a murderer. And what that did for me was made me humble myself and say, you know what? I'm going to talk less, learn more, listen, and only add advice when I get to know the person, right? What they want to know or what they need to know without being intrusive. You know what I mean?
Because one thing I know about us in prison is that we seem to have all the answers to life while we serving life.
Yeah.
We know we got all we could give everybody the game. No, you don't need to do that out there, and we don't even know what AI is. Well, don't do this right there, Buck. You be best with that. And we don't need to hear they talk. So the one thing I took for myself personally was is I tried my best not to offer my wife no advice.
Could you say that one more time? No. Hold on. Oh man, my stomach hurting. Listen,
Don't pull a muscle.
I'm trying to hold the laugh back, but so are you saying that? Because some of the sharpest cats, man, you might be a dum-dum on the street, but you get in that jail, you get in that law library, you got to read them books.
Yeah, you think you're
gonna come out to be a mad scientist.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is some of the most sharpest cats in the pen, right? But you ain't been tested. You know how but when we get out, you get real goofy and clumsy. Mm-hmm. I've done it.
Yeah.
I had to say to myself, man, you know what, man? I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, I'm in jail. What the hell do I know? She got 3 kids to raise. What advice can I give her?
You read a couple books.
Yeah, then I read a couple of books on
psychology.
But y'all know me, so y'all know I've always been based in reality.
Oh my God.
I've always been based in reality.
Exactly.
Right.
And for me personally, watching dudes around me lose their women because they got so much game for them, so much advice, and they want to tell them this, they want to tell them that you can't do this, you can't do that, dress like this, dress like that, be up here, do this. I said to myself, I'm never going to put that much pressure on my woman.
When I met you was riding like this. Now I want you to ride like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't ride like that no more.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I did in my brain. That's only because my mobility stopping behind these walls.
Yeah. So I took my cues from her.
Yeah.
I took my cues from my people around me. As far as if they needed to hear something and I thought I had some insight on it, I would offer, because we still living.
Yeah.
We just in jail. We just live life amongst each other. We don't live with them. Didn't mean that we lost our ability to think or to deduce. We all know what life is. Don't know life they live. We know life we live.
So tell us, how did you make it? How did you make it out? I got to be quiet. I got to hear you. How did you make it? How did you survive it? How did you keep your wife? And how was it when you walked off them gates?
I'm gonna give you a very simple answer first, and then I'm gonna give you the long answer. Simple answer is God.
Okay.
Every question you asked me came first, God.
God first.
Secondly,
God first.
not a long answer. I had to change. I went in prison with the definition of what a man was or what a real nigga was, and that definition was false. I understood that a real nigga actually is home with his wife and kids,
Real man is.
taking care of his family,
That's right.
taking care of, protecting his neighborhood, protecting his community, being a part of the community. I had to change. I had to get out the gang life. I had to find my spirituality. I had to forgive myself, forgive the slights I thought people had did to me, in relationships. I had to learn that only thing I can control is me.
Let the resentments go.
Yeah, let the resentment go. Don't hold on to nothing. It ain't nothing you can hold on to, because every time I go to a board, I got a family that's
And they're certainly going to eat you up on the inside anyway.
Yeah, I got a family just telling me this hates me for what I did to them, and I see the hate on some of their faces, the resentment. And I never want to, and I understand it. Believe me, I understand why we can hate, why we resent. Because some shit happened to us that just don't,
Right.
So I never want to be like that. I always want to enjoy life. I always want to love my wife. I always want to love my kids. These are the things that I created. We don't get to create much in life. God creates everything. But we do get to create our families. We get to make who we love. We get to make our decisions on how we love. And in prison, it's hard to love. It's hard to find love, because all that's surrounding you is hate. All that's around you is anger and bitterness.
Misery.
And misery. Nobody is, so I held on through God's love. I survived through God's love. And we survived, us three, we survived some shit.
We did.
Can I add something too? Whew. Boy, I tell you.
Let it out, man. Let it out. Exhale.
Boy, I tell you, this is good because, I just want to say this. It's going to be funny. But
We
it's
need to
on
laugh.
topic. Man, them women sure looked out when they came through for us in the visiting room. Hey, I'm going to keep it 100, man. Listen, we had to exercise it. I'm going to keep it clean, man, because sometimes we overlook certain things, man.
All right, man. Here we go.
I know Fahim. I know, and Cat know, man. My testament is strong, man. I'm going to tell y'all something.
Here we go.
Look, man, Cat cannot denounce us, man.
For real.
You know what I mean? If you got a problem with us, man, our walk, man, it was some powerful sisters came through that door,
They
man.
came to the door.
And looked us in our face, man. Hell, man, I had sisters come hold my face up, man, look at me and say, you a king. I don't care what you better not lay down. Get back on your game.
My wife wrote me every single day when I was the whole full assault on staff.
Come on.
Making sure I kept my head up.
Yeah.
Right, calling the prison, making sure I got my insulin shot.
We need to be writing books on them.
Yeah, for real. And I say this, because I know a lot of people don't survive what we survive.
Yeah.
Me and my wife made it 32 years. We never
Exactly.
we never separated. I call myself separating, but we never separated.
Right.
We never went nowhere. And we here together today. It ain't. It's through. I did it. I didn't do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean in every aspect. She did the time with me. She did the whole time with me. She did the motherfucking parole boards with me. She suffered as much as I suffered.
Right.
Her pain was, because at the end of the day, disappointment for us is living life. We go to the board and they tell us no. We like, that disappointment lasts for like 30 minutes, and next thing you know, hey man, pass me the ball, pass me the joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do go to group, whatever.
But not knowing outside.
Yeah, it's
woman, she
but
going
you
through
hear
it.
when you hear your, because remember I told you we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You asked me what the hardest part of me being home was, and I told you it was communication with my woman, because I was so used to talking to y'all.
Right.
So when we talk one way. You can't talk like that way to your woman.
Ooh.
Sure, okay.
I didn't know that. Because 32 years I talked to y'all.
That's all we knew.
That's all I knew. So I had to relearn.
Yeah.
And then it was complicated and hard because I want this. I don't want to lose this. I want this love. I need this love. This love is what sustained me for 32 years. And now to come home because I can't speak right or because I can't communicate or I can't see shit the way that she sees shit, to lose it because I don't want to, that didn't make no sense to me.
Right.
So I survive like I always survive. I adapt.
Right.
And I want to be the person that I said I was going to be when I was talking to her on the phone.
I was like, man, we can go so long with this subject and consequences of the street life and what we've been through. Most of all, what you've been through. It's about you. But yeah, man,
No, let me say this.
Come on, man.
Let me stop you right there.
What's that?
It's not about me.
Well, you here, you I guess, my brother.
But it's about us.
Okay, all right. I stand corrected.
It's about us because
you better know it. Because as soon as you get ready, you gonna listen. He gonna be in this.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I gotta say this to y'all before we leave here. I love you two niggas.
Love you too, man.
I love y'all. Y'all held me down. Me and you used to go at it.
Yeah.
You used to check the shit out of me all the time about my little talking ways. You used to tell me I was a knucklehead. You didn't like how I talk sometimes. And I appreciate you sticking by me.
For sure.
You never abandoned me.
Because I appreciate you for telling me the truth. You really served it to me. Nobody served it to me like that.
And I think, that's what we need because we was in our, early 30s going to our 40s at that time.
Yeah, we were.
But we were still young with, rest of development. Basically our living really stopped once we came in, behind them bars. Our mind was still growing, but not in a way to where we needed to adapt to the outside world versus being inside. So that's what we was.
My wife told me something. She told me to get my head out of living in prison and start living on the streets. And once I finally took that advice and started thinking about going home and living for the streets and living for it's not living for prison politics or living for this, things change. And I think at each our stages of our journey, me meeting you, seeing you, how you had changed and see the person that you were and how mature you were, because you were way more mature than us. You were way more stately. Yeah, you were above us in so many different ways when we all met. You kept you were showing me the end. You need to change. You ain't you ain't all the way in. Right. You still walking because the way you would judge me with your eyes sometimes. I know I'm out of pocket. You'd be like, look at me like
you go like this.
Yeah, he'd be like.
I don't think if I did, it was somewhat judging because I have no right to judge anyone, right? Maybe it was so much to where, man, we brothers, we trying to get up out of here, and what we doing, if we do not change, it's going to keep us behind. Instead of walking out that door.
I remember I came to your door when you and the boy was Selly's. What's the boy for Richmond? Other boy was it? Not
Fifth Wheel.
Fifth Wheel. Y'all was Selly's, and
Elijah.
I came with some BS.
Yeah.
And he was like, Bruce, blood, when you gonna grow up? And I looked at you and I was like, who are you talking to? But you was like, Bruce, when you gonna grow up? Then you walked out and kept it moving. And I was like, okay, it's time for me. If he's saying that to me, we the same age.
Right.
If he's saying to me, Bruce, when you gonna grow up? And that's all you said to me, Bruce, when you gonna grow up? And you kept moving. So I was talking to your bunkie.
Right.
And he's like, man, when you gonna grow up? Me and him used to be on our little escapades.
For sure.
And it made me think. At the time, I'm doing them. But I'm still doing other stuff, and you not. But I'm always around you.
Right.
And you was like, no. When you gonna grow up? And you never said nothing else to him. You never said.
But that's what brothers. When we want good for ourselves, we want for our brother, vice versa.
Yep.
And that's all it is. Because I accept it from you, accept it from Hamza, from all the brothers. Once we able to get out our own way.
Yeah.
Because if he going a certain way, you going a certain way, and I'm tripping over here, I gotta look at your example.
Got to.
If I want to change.
Yeah, and I had to see. I watched y'all change.
Yeah.
I watched you, grow up. I watched you, gain your spirituality and change your way of doing things and how you approach life. You know, I seen how different people didn't piss you off no more.
Right.
You know, how
Absolutely.
you walk to the chow hall sometime, or when you walk the yard when dudes was doing funny, or we had a little thing with the Bay Area, and then you how you didn't want to, you was like, no,
Right.
I'm above that. I'm not getting involved in that. Y'all go everybody know with that shit.
For sure.
You know.
For sure. I appreciate that, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's
So, yeah, we are 100 years enterprise, man. Consequence of the street life. Pat, you want to close us out, man?
Yeah.
You got some departing words before you do
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I just want to say, you got anything you want to say before you close?
No, brother.
Okay, so again, man, it's been an aspirational podcast. This is what we do, 100 Years Enterprise, Consequences of Street Life. And our guest, man, Bruce Johnson. Hey, man, we proud of you, man. We glad you home.
What's our
man.
motto, man? What's our motto?
Man, our motto is to steer you from making early death decisions. That's what we're about, man. We 100 years. Again, man, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube, 100 Years Enterprise on YouTube. You can find our website, 100years.biz. Also, what else? If I'm leaving out? I know we got several
Our
things.
IG, 100 Years DOP, Facebook, 100 Years 100 Years Enterprise. And again, go to our YouTube, Consequences of Street Life, 100 Years Enterprise. Your Consequences of the Street Life is the last few titles of the season. But our podcast is 100 Years Enterprise. Also, like Patrick just said, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and coming out on Patreon too. Like, share, and subscribe. And tell everyone again, we closing out with Consequences of the Street Life. My brother, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank y'all for inviting me, bro.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned, man. There's
And
more to
behind the
come.
camera, we got Gabe, G26 Productions. Shout out to my man Gabe and all our followers, man. We thank you all. Hey,
Stay
we
tuned,
out.
man. Stay tuned.